come along. You may be heaven and earth. You may say you cannot get me, but you cannot say God will not give me. For as long it is God who shares, every man must have his portion. Body never be another. You carry me around. You are the eyes of me. You are my love. Daddy, I want in your presence. To have my own portion. All I take is love from me. You will carry my love. You carry my love. You will carry my love. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Blessing, blessing, it's my portion, it's my portion. I'm bigger and better, stronger and stronger. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Blessing, it's my passion, it's my passion. I'm bigger and better, stronger and stronger. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come and see what the journey has done for me. My sisters, you are the journey has done for me. You matter my red, sugar my tea, change my life. You my life for me. You matter my red, sugar my tea, change my life. You. In my boss, it's my passion. In your boss, it's my passion. Will you ever let it go? No, hallelujah, hallelujah. You want me to see you. You want me to see you. You need to see you. I'll be chilling on the Friday. We want to say good day and welcome to Family Connection International program, Keeping in Touch, a forum where we share life-changing experiences and stay connected. Sorry we were not here last week due to some technical problem and other activities in the Liberian community in celebrant of Liberia 174 independence. We'll be talking about that later during the program. But because of that and other technical issues, we're here. But we are happy to be back today again. And sorry, our colleague Levi is behind the scene. And by the way, he celebrated his anniversary on Friday, so I guess he's still celebrating. Ben, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good, bro. How yourself?
I'm okay, man.
I hope you're having a wonderful time there in New York while I'm in California.
Right now.
Well, I mean, the sun is hot today in my area here, and then it's like around 93 degrees. I don't know what is it like with you at your end.
The sun is hot, but it's not very humid. The weather
Yeah,
is not very good. Not too much humidity. It's not there today. Kind of a little bit refreshing. It's kind of a nice day for a barbecue, anyway.
I like that. That's great.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I look forward to what we have in store today to discuss. I know we have a very important topic that is upcoming as it relates to one of our own brothers or pastors, especially from back in Liberia, who is now in the United States, and will be a little bit talking about a book that he will be launching in a very short period of time. So I'm looking forward to be able to discuss that as we move forward with our discussion today. Back to you, Solo.
Absolutely. I think one of the chairperson or one of the committee communication and publicity is trying to connect. According to him, he can hear us, but we don't see him and we don't hear him. I think we'll have to be taking him on the phone to talk to him about the program that's coming up, which will be, what's it there? The 15th of this month? No. Let me get it correct before I give the misinformation, Ben. We have the date, Ben. What is this program that is coming up we're talking about today? I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it's August 15. The program will be on August 15. It will be on a Sunday. So we'll be talking to a brother who is very vast about his program. As you rightly said, we'll also be bringing the pastor, Reverend Gabriel B. Webb, on next Sunday, where we'll be talking about a book he wrote. This is a very important book and very interesting. So I think we'll take the brother on the line. We'll talk to him about the program and what have you. Then we'll come back to discuss other points. What do you think, Ben?
And you know, my understanding is that you are the co-chair of the publicity, correct?
Correct.
Good. So I'm very much interested in knowing from both the co-chair and whoever the chair that will be talking about this program or this launching of the book from our very own brother and native from Liberia who now resides in the United States and have written, I would say probably this is his first book that he has written. So technically he's now an author and he will be launching this on the 15th of August 2021. So I would like our listening audience to get a little gist of what it will be like. I know we're going to be having him next week himself to tell us more about what he has written. But for you and the publicity chairperson that probably going to be on the phone talking with us, yeah, give us an insight. What are some of the plans that you have in launching this book in the next 2 weeks from now?
Well, Ben, I got a chairman on the line. I don't want to speak for the chair. He didn't give me the authority to speak. He's right here.
Okay.
He's no other than our brother Alonso Biamboa. I know this issue of technology sometimes mislead us. But Brother Boa is on the phone with us. Brother Boa, are you hearing us? Welcome.
Thank you so much, Brother Solo and Brother Ben, for the opportunity.
Ben, can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear Brother Bayan. Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay, go ahead, Brother Boa.
Let me again extend thanks and appreciation to the Almighty God for such wonderful opportunity. Like you already said, Solo, I'm a little bit frustrated because I've been trying to see how I can come on, but it is not just allowing me. However, I'm here, and it's a pleasure to be here for the first time.
Yeah, but don't worry. We'll have you back
next Sunday with the author, because we'll still have to have this discussion. People have to see, mark the name to the face. You know, I lost your BM Boa. Who's this guy always on the phone? It's not your first time being on audio. So our many followers would like to mark this name to the face. But Boa, we've been talking about book launching. Give us a background. What is happening?
Thank you so much, Brother Fata and Brother Ben again. So we are talking about launching a first written book that has to do with the pathway that leads to finding Mr. and Mistress Bright. And this book, the author of this book is the Reverend Gabriel Webb, and he has asked me to serve on his communication committee. And we've come here today to be able to inform the public, encourage the listening public to show up, to be able to give support to your own a book that is written by a Liberian and a minister.
You're talking about book launch. What format would this whole book launch take? Are you inviting people to this launching, or you just telling people that there's a book that has been published by Reverend Gabriel B. Webb? There's a website they need to go to do a purchase. What's the process? What are we talking about?
Thank you. So we have a program that is the book launching program is scheduled for August the 15th. It's going to be on a Sunday. The time to be flexible is going to be 2:30 p.m. The venue is going to be at the Christ Assembly Lutheran Church located on 27 Hudson Street, Staten Island, New York. The zip code is 10304. To come to your question, to answer your question, the program is designed in a way that we've written out a lot of letters inviting people in and around our community to serve as sponsors. And we have also written churches to also come in to serve as co-launchers, and we'll also have a chief launcher. So it's a program that is organized, welcoming people who have received our invitation to show up and be able to give support in purchasing the book, and also to give support to the men of God.
Ben?
Well, Aloysius, good hearing your voice, and it will be wonderful seeing you in person. Notwithstanding, with all the challenges that we face with technology, the fact that we can still hear you is a great thing. So good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are there tonight in New York.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Okay, good. So talking about launching the book that has to do with a title that is very, very interesting. And if my memory serves me right, according to what I see before me, it is a book that was written by Reverend Gabriel B. Webb. And the title of the book is The Pathway That Leads to Finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. And there's a subtitle there that talks about saying, after having suffered setbacks from many past relationships, now is the time to find that right person. What a book it is. And I can just imagine how rich it is with a lot of contents and a lot of experiences and pieces of advice for people out there that are looking for the right relationship. So you, the chairman of this publicity in terms of launching this book, which is the first book written by this person who is Reverend Gabriel Webb, what is your general take on the setup aspect of what brought us to this level to be able to launch this book?
Thank you so much. So speaking in terms of the sales aspect, the reason why I said thank you, I love the way you lay out. And like you read this book is very interesting. It's a book that is rich. And you might look at the title that says that the pathway that leads to finding Mr. or Mistress Right. And one may be thinking that it's only for a single or those who are in search for a relationship. But I've read the book in its totality, and I can tell you, like you read, they say it's very rich. It's not only for the single person, but it's also for both married or couples. There are a lot you can learn in here. So in terms of the sales aspect, our expectation is that with the level of publicity that we carry on, we will be able to have our invitees to turn up to be able to give the support and giving details on the cost. I guess that was your question, right, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, the setup that brought us to this level in terms of launching this book. So you're going to tell us how much it's going to cost for people that might be interested. In fact, as we are looking at launching this book in probably 14 days from now, how much does it cost? And if I want to buy this book ahead of time, ahead of the launching date, what can I do? Or who can I contact? And all those type of stuff that are needed to be known. Do you have this type of information for us?
Yes, we do have those information available. And so this book, before the launching time, which is going to be on the 15th of August, but we already have the book online.
Okay.
Found it on Amazon. It's there for a reasonable amount. If you are a Prime member of Amazon, you can get it for $11.95 on Amazon.
Okay, so great. So you, for our listening audience out there, according to the chairman, Aloysius is telling us that this book, which is the first of its kind, written by a Liberian immigrant, for that matter, who is presently residing in the United States of America, Reverend Gabriel B. West, is the author of this book. And the title of the book is Pathways That Leads to Finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. It's right now on Amazon for sale. The launching will be on the 15th of August 2021. But the book is right now published and it is out there, so you can even go ahead and begin to put in your order so that you can receive it on time even before the launching day. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, so is it only on Amazon if I want to get this book that I can find it?
Say that again, please.
Is there any other venue that I can search to get this book other than Amazon?
Yes, you can also find it on Barnes and Noble. And you can be able to get it for a little bit above the $11.59 because you will have to, they will include taxes, so you could be talking about something like $16.
Wonderful. That's a very good news. I'm so proud to see a Liberian of this kind, coming out and getting basically involved in this type of development of writing books and telling people about their life-changing experiences in terms of relationship, because I know there are a lot of relationships out there that are really suffering and struggling, but having biblical pieces of advice from a person of this kind, I'm very sure that it will be very much helpful to be able to get hold of a book like this, read the content of it, digest it very well, and begin to apply it in your personal life. Back to you there, Solo.
Not much. Maybe we just take a parting comment from the chairman, Alonso. I'm here as a co-chair. I also try to elaborate on that. Chair, I hope we can work on this so we'll be able to mark the name to the face by next Sunday. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, that's a possibility. And I want to apologize because if you can notice, I'm a little bit distracted because I'm driving. And at the same time on the phone, which is not a good thing. But before coming over to the parting comment, I want to comment on the launching, to be more specific on maybe one would be wondering how much the book will cost during the launching, because we will have hard copies available. By the grace of God, on that day, the hard copies of the book will be available, and it will be going for $30. And we will have the author who will be available to sign as you purchase the book. So we want to call on all of those who have received our invitations and those who are yet to receive the invitation to please show up on August the 15th at the Christ Assembly Lutheran Church, located on 27 Hudson Street, Staten Island, New York, to give support to your own Liberian. And like I said, the book is very rich. You can learn a lot. I will straighten up your marriage. That will help you when you are in search in finding a lifetime partner. So it's a wonderful book. We look forward to seeing all of you. And thank you so much, Co-Chair Solo and also Brother Ben. I really wish to be in person so that next time we can do it better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Biamboa. I know we have something here which is like a flyer that is going around. We'll try to put the flyer on the screen for those of you who have been going around and have the opportunity to have seen this flyer. Ben will try his best to put that up. But this is how the book looked like. This is why it is. You see a photo with a reverend with a coat suit in blue with a blue tie. And the name is there. The Reverend Gabriel B. Works. And the writing is clear, the pathway that lead to finding Mr. and Mrs. Right. Once you go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, you'll be able to see the book. You'll be able to have a copy. This is a great initiative by a librarian, as you rightly said, Ben. I think once a librarian is interested in writing books, we should show up and give them a massive support. I think from my community, I've known a couple of people who have written books, but they have not gone to the stage of maybe doing a book launch. This is one of the kind that I would be going to in my community from somebody within a community that have written a book that's calling for a book launch. So it's a great initiative, and I think we should show up to those who receive letters. As Lasha rightly said, the Reverend is looking up to you. We're looking up to you to show up and support the Reverend. Let us support each other, man. I don't know what you think, man.
Well, you know what, Solo, I agree with you 100%. And I'm just thinking, had it not been that I am like thousands of miles away from
Maida, I know you got internet problem. What is going on? Okay, this is the flyer we're talking about. I know some of you have been saying this flyer, official book launching program, a pathway that lead to finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. The activities for the book launch will be on Sunday, August 15, 2021 at 2:30 p.m. As Lasha rightly said, will be at the Christ Assembly Lutheran Church. For those who reside on Staten Island, show up and give us support to our brother. Ben, are you there?
fly over to.
Yeah, Ben, you kind of froze. We are not hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. So as I was saying that I wish that I was anywhere closer to you guys to actually be there in person. Unfortunately, I'm like 7 hours flight away from where you guys will be launching this book. But I just want to encourage our brothers and sisters out there, especially people that are part of the Liberian community in where you live, to really come out and support this brother, this minister of ours, and give him that encouragement, because it really takes a lot of effort to be able to write a book and be able to talk about launching it in 14 days from now. So come out, support him, whatever little amount that you can give in addition to the purchasing of the book. I mean, it will serve as a sign of motivation for even other Liberians out there that might be interested in doing some developments like this in the future. But I would say congratulations to Reverend Gabriel B. Webb for taking the time in the first place to put down on in black and white, in fact, and put it on paper to say, yes, if you have had challenges in having a good relationship, if you have had challenges in finding the right wife, the right husband, or whoever you might classify that person to be. Maybe follow these principles and follow these pieces of advice, and it will help you to go in the right direction. So I just want to encourage our brothers and sisters out there, come out and support this minister of God, this child of God that have taken his time for the first time to write a book of this kind. It's very rich. I'm going through it. I haven't completed digesting the content of it, but it's very rich, and I would say go for it right now. Get on Amazon and be able to put in your order, and you'll definitely get it on time, even before the launching date. Back to you, Solo.
Absolutely, man. I think, as you rightly said, we just want to let the public know that the author of this book, Reverend Gabriel B. Webb, will be our guest next Sunday for us to delve a little bit into the book, because we don't want to give out everything. If we give you what is in the book, it means you're not going to buy it. But he will come and tell us what's the backdrop. What was he thinking about when he wrote the book? Who he had in mind? What was his experiences like that he chose to write this book? So join us Sunday. Gabriel Webb will be here, because even if you look at the content, the book is so beautiful. It's a preparation for a singlehood and while you are session. 50 important qualities in a man or a woman that you need to look for. Can you imagine that, Ben? They're telling you how many qualities those who are looking for a man or a woman. And the next issue is like, you might be married, but you're not happy. I know the Bible says that you cannot divorce. But should you live in agony for the rest of your life? What is the choice for you to make? But you can also look at those things. And how do you choose a wife or a husband? You know, you look at certain criteria. So Pastor Webb will be our guest on Sunday, and he'll be able to at least give us some intro, because we can give out the whole story, man. Because if we give you what is in the book, it means you don't need to buy it, right?
That's right. That's why we're not going to read out what is in the book, but we need, the audience, our listening audience, needs to get some gist of the book, as people say sometimes. You know, for example, in his book, I see a topic that he really touched on. Also, was that who should be your friend when you are in a relationship? What a question. You know, people say sometimes, tell me your friend and I will tell you who you are. If you are in a relationship, whether it is a marriage relationship that you are in, or just a casual relationship, whatever relationship for that matter, I mean, you should know well enough before getting into that relationship the type of person that you are getting into a relationship with. And if you don't be careful in terms of who you enter the relationship with, there will be some shipwrecks, you know, on the way along. And so the topic that he talks about, who should be your friends? Hey, your friends should be the ones that will be advising you or giving you guidance. And sometimes when you go on the wrong side, you say, hey, man, you got to get on the right side, do this. So be careful who you make to be your friend in terms of finding that right Mr. or Mrs. Right. Pastor Webb, you've done it, man. I can't wait for you to be on this program in person to really tell us what motivated you. What is the motivation behind you writing this book that is so much rich and empowered that people that read it will not go out empty. Instead, they will be filled because of the content of this book. So, hey, Solo, man, I don't know how many persons you know in New York there that really need to get hold of this book. But as much as you can call and contact, make sure you pass this word out to them that there is a very good material that needs to be bought.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
Absolutely. That's why we are here, precisely, and that's what we're going to do starting today to the launching. They said the book is about a lot of things. Precisely, it's centered around what do you do when your heart is broken in a relationship? How can you come back to prepare yourself and find that right person for your life? So, Pastor Webb, Reverend Webb, we're waiting for you Sunday. So, gentlemen, that's it for the book. We just want to take some little bit of music, then. We'll come back. Last weekend was the 4th of July 26th. As Liberian in our Liberian community, I know you live in California, Sacramento, and other places. We want to know what went on that side. We'll talk a little bit about that, man. But let's take something from here.
Let the music roll.
Cause I'm a beauty girl. I'm a brand new man, I am a king. I'm born again, never the same. Holy woman, yes, we never change. The worst I ever lost name. Holy the fire, fire. I salute you, ancient of days. You never let me down again. I'm enjoying my heritage. I want them to see me over rock. Let me see me over rock. Feel you see me over rock. Cause I'm a beauty baba. Sit next to see me over rock. But outside when I see my best soul. After when I know my best soul. Cause I'm a beauty baba. I'm from above and not beneath. I'm a victor, I never lose. So they are very good at me. I'm walking with them every day. I see my blessings falling, drink my morning to dancing. I'm changing my level, you'll never see me struggle. Before they go see me over wrong, let me see me over wrong. Feel you see me over baba, cause I'm a beauty baba. Sit next to see me over wrong. But once I when I see my best soul.
All right. Last weekend was in our community. We're talking about the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. By the way, Liberia celebrated 174 independence on July 26th, which was on Monday, the gum Monday. I know Liberians in the diaspora in other states, in other countries around the world celebrated Liberian independence. I know there's a lot going on in Liberia right now. There's not much to celebrate. But hey, as a tradition, those in the diaspora meet, gather themselves to think about their country and celebrate the country independent. So Ben, what did you guys do that side of the United States? You are muted.
Well, to be frank with you, Solo, the day was on a working day in the United States for us. And I actually went to work that day, and I spent the rest of the day at work. So from my end, personally, I wouldn't tell you that there was a celebration to celebrate the July 26th Independence Day for Liberia. But, I mean, I had that at the back of my mind that once upon a time, there was no country known as Liberia until July 26, 1847, meaning that Liberia is now 100 and what? 74.
Yep.
174 years old. And the formation of Liberia, I was just having a retrospect of how it came into being. And in fact, the country, the name Liberia, which means land of the free, how it came into being and how people sometimes we even look on our seal, the seal that we have in Liberia. It talks about the love of liberty brought us here. So people that were in search of freedom, people that were in search of liberty, found themselves in that part of the world. And as a result of it, Liberia was given birth. And we have a place today that we call Liberia. Liberia is a very small country in terms of the population, because we're talking like about what? 4 million to 5 million?
Yeah, 5 million people.
About 5 million persons in Liberia. So it's a very small number of persons in terms of the population. But the number of years that Liberia has been in existence, it tends to be more as compared to some other countries in Africa. What is your take on that, so when it comes to how old is Liberia, and then look at the development in Liberia? What will you say on that?
I know I'll come to your comment, but from our end, and we want to say kudos to the Liberian leadership, the Liberian Staten Island Liberian Association leadership. They organized the event the weekend leading to the Independence Day celebration, which was on Monday, July 26th. So what the leadership on this side did, on Friday, there was some, what they called, it's like just meet and greet, people gather for a barbecue on a Friday at an open market space, and they have fun. And Saturday, they have some couple of activities, which was like, they have kickball, they have football, sporting activities was involved at a park where people have music. And that Saturday evening or climax by in July 26th ball, where people went to a dinner, and we had a keynote speaker. I just want to acknowledge today that the keynote speaker was one of our prominent community leader, a religious man and a clergyman who accepted our invitation during the 11 hour. Reverend Sewe, I just once again, and as open mind, and say thank you so much for accepting our invitation to serve as keynote speaker for that program that night. And the program continued the next day, which was Sunday. So I can tell you for free, Ben, we had a blast. We had some fun. So,
yeah, I remember seeing some pictures. I don't know, did you play the soccer as well?
I don't remember that. I didn't play soccer. Let me be clear.
Okay. All right. I saw you on some sort of formation. I thought you were a soccer player. I said, what?
No,
has Solo got him back on the field again to play soccer as he used to play soccer back in the days?
Leave that. They said time I can play, I mean, for you. Yeah.
Time I can play, right?
Yeah. So the fact matter is, so the sporting activities were climax on Sunday.
Okay.
So where we had, we had Lone Star of Liberia. It's not just Liberians organized themselves playing the surrounding team. At the end of the day, I think they have 4 teams in the final analysis that Lone Star won on the penalty shootout. So that was a lot of activities, that climax the day. And on that same Sunday, we had a town hall, which has to do with the Liberian Immigration Refugee Fairness Act. The act is still in existence with the DA office, that's the District Attorney office, and the legal aid office here on Staten Island. There are Liberians who have been in this country as of 2014. And strangely, the act I'm talking about was signed by the former President Donald Trump. So meaning it has been extended and people can still benefit from now up to December 20th, 2021. There's no much requirement. You just have to prove that you are in this country as of November 20, 2014, and you've been living here. Once you can prove that, you just simply call the legal aid office and they'll be able to help you to process your document. And how can you prove that? Maybe you can prove that through your birth certificate or your Liberian passport, or maybe your marriage certificate, or maybe you got some school records that you can prove, or maybe medical records. Maybe you got a bill because you've been living here. You should have a utility bill or maybe a lease agreement that you have paid. Once you have something to show, so Liberians who are living here, this is a perfect opportunity to just come back to re-echo this. I know others have already benefited, but if they are still sitting there and you need a benefit, there's a number you can call. You call the legal aid, the legal service of New York City. They'll be able to help you. They'll be able to help you. The information is here. You can inbox this program. We'll be able to give you all this information, Ben. I know you asked a question. I'll be coming back to your question, but I just want to make that clear to our people who are still out there and need a benefit from this program. Take advantage of it. All you need to do is show proof that you've been living in America from November 2014 till now.
And you know what, Solo, just to buttress that, you're as a Liberian, if you are a Liberian coming to America, you might have gotten a visa that brought you here in the first place. So that document can show at the time that you enter into this country, you probably might have falling short in terms of maybe you were supposed to go back, but you didn't go back on the time that you were supposed to go back, and all those other stories that will come out along the line. But that is a document to prove that yes, on this day I entered this country, and you didn't enter the country illegally. You actually entered legally. You know, it's not like somebody walking across the border into the United States, because hey, the United States doesn't share border with the Republic of Liberia. So there's no way somebody will walk across from Liberia to the United States, right? So before you come over this far, you need to get some document that will bring you this far. So provide those documents that you have and other utility bills, as who was saying, and maybe you have some other additional documents while you are staying in the United States that will help boost your story to be able to live in this free land that we have that has a lot of opportunities, and you'll be able to do things without fear for the most part, you know. However, be mindful, if you have committed some crimes along the line, that is not a good thing. It will be a red flag. And that's why we encourage people to live as a peaceful citizen. Live as a peaceful citizen, and you will benefit as a result of that. So don't put yourself in a harm's way. Don't put yourself in situations that will cause problem for you, your family, and other friends that you know. Live a peaceful life, and definitely, if that is proven, and you have the supporting documents to that effect, you should be one of the beneficiaries of this program. It's a very kind program that was signed in by our former president, Donald Trump, and now it has been extended by the current administration. So take advantage of it if you haven't taken advantage of it. And also, tell me, with Liberia being 174 years old, look at the development aspect of Liberia compared to other countries that Liberia is older than. What would be your take on that?
Ben, the issue of Liberia is an issue of debate. In the first place, Liberia gained independence prematurely. We were not ready. We were not prepared to be an independent country. So the whole charade about 174 years, we have nothing to show as a country. What can we show as a country for 174 years? So the independence 1847 was premature. That would be my argument, given the fact that we were not ready. Maybe it was just those settlers or those who came back there, American Liberians, felt that they wanted some authority. That's why they gained independence. Or because of the issue of the Fanandopo, or people still trying to enslave them at the time they didn't want to be enslaved. Was that the issue? But I would clearly say that Liberia gaining independence in 1847 was premature. We were not ready. It's like somebody getting into something that are not prepared to take up responsibility. So Liberia 174 it's like we cannot match our year of existence to development. That could be again because of what? Poor leadership. People who have been in authority from the origin, from independence to now. You can count 2, 3 leaders that have ever led Liberia that had the people are hot. It was out of nepotism, bring all their family on board, or maybe something else. Corruption, which is a hallmark of our society. People are not accountable. People cannot be able to distinguish what is public and what is private. As a result, they think being president or being authority means whatever belongs to the people belongs to me. Then. So I think we need a change of mind. People need to be indoctrinated. People need to understand that we need to move forward. How can you go back to a lab to do a litmus test if you already know the result? And we are still doing the same thing. Why should we continue to do the same thing and expect a different result? We need to change.
So I understand your point, Solo. When you talk about Liberia being established prematurely, as a matter of fact, what then would you say would have been the right time for Liberia to gain independence? In fact, historically, some people will argue that Liberia didn't gain independence from anyone. Where did Liberia gain independence from? Who were they under in the first place before gaining independence? So what would be your starting point? How many years of actual age that you would give to Liberia since you are claiming that Liberia was giving birth to prematurely? While it is true that there are some premature birth, but even in the midst of the premature birth, these births have also become meaningful in society today and very productive. Don't you think that Liberia can get on that track to be productive, even as you claim Liberia was giving birth to prematurely? Back to you, Solo.
Well, Ben, the point here, I cannot give yes. As I said, prematurely, maybe at the time, we never have people who are prepared to lead a country, which is the prematurity come about. Because if you look at Liberia history, when Tubman was president who left for almost 27 years, Liberia, GPO are next to Japan. What did we do at the time? We had the largest rubber producing company in the world. What did we do? Can we produce a tire? We cannot. Our minds were not developed. People who were there were not in a position to think about the country. So these are issues we're talking about. Even up to now, people are still coming into authority with an intent, with a mindset. Now, oh, Ben did it yesterday, I can also do it. Ben did it one with impunity. When do we change our mindset? So we still struggling, as I said very early, with a mindset that if the guy can do it, I can do it. And we need to change from that mindset. He did the wrong thing. I should make a difference for the interest of the people, man. That's what I'm looking at. So Liberia history is, for me, is complicated.
I will agree with you in that direction. As complicated as it might be, both you and I can make a difference. Not because it wasn't done right the last time it was done, that it should continue to be done wrongly. So you and I recognizing the wrong that was done, it's time for us to do it right. So begin to put into practice behaviors, things that would make things change in the right direction, setting an example to make a difference in society. So for some of us that live in the diaspora, I know that some people come in the diaspora and never think of going back to their areas of origin, and they feel that there's no reason to go back home, or there's no reason to do anything back home. But I would like to encourage people. There are a lot of good, loving Liberians out there in the diaspora that have the mind of developing Liberia to another level. So I would say, hey, don't feel discouraged. Even with all of the challenges Liberia have gone through, we can still make a difference. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our thoughts together. Let's put our resources together. Let us support one another. And in supporting one another, we talked earlier about a book written by a Liberian. Come out and support that Liberian. You know, so when we begin to support ourselves, and we begin to support one another, that is another way of bringing a positive change in our society. It's not just about you. It don't have to be only you. It doesn't have to say that it's only Solo that I have to benefit from this. No. If it is Solo, fine. Let's put hands together and support him. If it is Ben, amen. Let's put hands together and support him. And that's it is. Doing that will help us change the corrupt mindset that a good number of people back then have. And as a result of that, ordinary people are going through a lot of challenges today. But again, we say, whatever the case may be, Liberia is now 174, and we hope that there will be some positive changes as Liberia continues to become older and older every year. Back to you, Solo.
This is how we go home tonight, man.
Yeah. Send us home. Let's see how we go.
We'll be back here on Sunday with Reverend Gabriel B. Webb as we discuss this book, Lunch. And he gave us a background, what he was thinking about when he put this pen to paper. But until then, I want to say thank you so much, man. And Happy anniversary to Levi. So you Levi is celebrating happy anniversary today. Now why you chose to stay behind the scene? And
Minister Levi is enjoying the blessings of God, because he that finds a wife
find a good thing.
find a good thing and gain favor. Not just a good thing, also gains favor from God. And we just talked about a book written by the man of God that would help lead you in that right direction. So hey, that's how we go, brother. Thank you. It was great always.
I want to say happy anniversary, Levi. I know you should be having a dinner, so have your
enjoy yourself, brother.
Enjoy
Minister
yourself.
Levi, enjoy yourself. Happy anniversary to you and your family. Your beautiful wife.